Hello chums, and welcome to Setups for Simpletons. I've created an entire series dedicated to explaining Gran Turismo 7's quirky and sometimes unforgiving tuning system, but sometimes it's nice to just copy someone else's homework and be done with it. So in this series I will take one car at a time, show a complete setup, and a lap of the Nürburgring for good measure. Disclaimer, if you use my setup it does not mean you're a simpleton. Let's begin! Aston Martin DB5. I'll bet you forgot this is even in the game. Well, it is, and it's quite a beast, with nearly 700 horsepower once all of the go faster bits have been glued on. I wanted to draw some attention to this classic since it's a bit of an underrated performance car. For the visuals, the car has the wide body fitted, along with aftermarket wheels a few sizes bigger than standard. Increasing the size of the wheels can slightly improve agility, potentially at the expense of overall stability. There's no splitter or diffuser option, and there's no tasteful rear wings, but with racing soft tyres, downforce becomes very necessary, so this custom wing set had to be fitted. Yes, I know it's hideous. This is a fully upgraded setup, so the car has every upgrade available, including power, weight, handling upgrades, and the body rigidity increase. The DB5 generates quite a lot of power for what it is, but it's also quite stable for its age. A generic rear-wheel drive setup and a couple of kilos of ballast weight to the rear axle, and it's a very solid performer. I've known this car gets a crazy amount of power for quite a long time now, but I don't often drive it. However, every time I do reacquaint myself with it, it surprises me just how solid of a performer it is. You would expect a car from the early 1960s to handle like a bin bag full of whipped cream, but this car has the stability and composure that you would expect from something like a mid-2000s BMW. It doesn't quite have the overall pace, but that's okay, because this car will still surprise a fair few people in the online lobbies. Granted, it does look utterly hideous with the rear wing, but it is very necessary if you're using racing tyres. My only real complaint with this car is that it's far too quiet. It's a supercharged straight 6 in a classic car. It should sound like thunder. Oh well. James Bond's worst nightmare got around the track in 6 minutes 36, which is roughly where all of those 800 horsepower front-wheel drive swaps have been popping up. If this car had a front splitter option, I would have no doubt that it would be lapping under 6 minutes 30. So that was my setup for the Aston Martin DB5. I hope it helped. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe and kick me on the bell so that you get notified of my future uploads. Do take care of yourself, and ta-ra.